More men over 30 are choosing to stay single, and women wonder why. Some of them are saying is because he doesn't want to put in the effort, not willing to face themselves, he's a substance abuser, lack of communication, and you know what? Let's find out more. Stay tuned. Remember to like, subscribe, and share.
Reasons why men are still single, after the age of 30. Listen, if he is still single after 30, there is a freaking reason. Probably not because he's just picky. For one, he wants a girlfriend. He does. He wants a girlfriend, but he does not want to put in any of the effort to do so. Or God forbid he needs to delete the roster. Number two, which is a giant piss off, he thinks therapy is for the weak, but his communication is absolute shit. Like, sir, if anyone needs therapy, it's you. Number three, he's chasing 22-year-olds or 20-year-olds or 21-year-olds. Baby girl, he is the problem. But not least, he almost dated someone amazing. Now, he either fucked it up, fucked her over, or just wasn't ready at the time, then now he's freaking scared to try with any other amazing girl. Ladies, please send this to a man if he needs to see it. And fellas, if this hurt your feelings, it was probably meant for you.
What's wrong with 30-year-old men chasing younger women in their early 20s? Guys in their 30s are single because they spent their entire 20s building their wealth, career, body, and don't want to throw their lives away with a girl. Listen to her drama, triggers, worry about her getting knocked up. Men are happier single and save a lot more money. If she didn't want you in her prime, 18 to 25, don't take her on her decline.
In the past 5 years, I've realized that being single is the best option for me. A relationship is not worth it in America. The reason why I say this is because it don't matter what spectrum you're on as a man. You could be first spectrum, an attractive man. An attractive man will not have longevity with a woman that he's attracted to. Now, for example, say if an attractive man gets with a woman, and this woman understands that he had options before. She understands that this man has freedoms as a single man to where he's not in need, he's not in lack. She is less likely to want to stay with him for long-term speaking. Maybe the lust part of it, maybe she's sexually drawn to him, but when it's coming to security and the longevity of her relationship, she doesn't want to be with more of an attractive man because she understands she has to compete with other women for the entirety of that relationship. She would more so get a less attractive man for a marriage because that comes with the security of her being and knowing that she is his best option. He's going to praise her. He's going to buy her gifts, buy her flowers, buy her roses, and give her all of these things that she thinks she really wants until she realizes that she has no sexual drive or no sexual passion towards this dude. So she might like that simp for a little minute, that runner-up for a little minute, but then over time realizes that there's no sexual desire. And then she gets attracted to a man like me that's more of an attractive dude, has options, has been single, having his way in life. So it don't matter what spectrum you are as a man in America, it's going to be rough trying to date a woman in this modern day and age. Women are more receptive to drama opposed to good. So if you are a good man and you're providing everything that she wants, you know, buying her clothes, paying for her nails, hair, all this simp shit, yeah, she's going to receive all of that, but in the long term, she's not going to really like you. She's not really going to have that fire for you. She's not going to be passionate about you. She's going to get bored, just like Aisha Curry did. Is men out here that haven't touched their woman in a whole year, which is crazy to me to even hear, but it's because they've been providing. She got addicted to being provided for, but never had that fire for you. She keeps coming back constantly because she knows that you are a resource that continuously disperses what she wants. But a man like me is not going to give you what you want. I'm going to give you what you need. And it takes a specific type of woman to really be drawn to me, and which is great because I'm not for everybody. And I don't think men in my caliber are for everybody. You know, it takes a specific type of woman to really deal with me. So what I'm saying is, no matter what spectrum you're on as a man, it's going to be tough out here to date in America. You just really got to find somebody who really respects and honors you and motivates you to do more. Don't try and find a woman that matches your hustle or matches your money, because you're going to find a headstrong, dominant woman that's not really going to be there to provide what you really need. Stay chosen.
Being single is great. We don't have to wake up and deal with a woman's feelings. It's a business deal, and a man has more to lose than to gain.
I just saw a video that said men, if they're not married by the age of 30, 1 in 3 will become a substance abuser. And that's very interesting. And what kind of sucks is I'm 30 and I like men either my age or a little bit older, which means out of 1 of 3 men, they will be substance abusers, which has been pretty accurate, especially living in Miami.
Let's address this absurd claim. The idea that unmarried men over 30 automatically become substance abusers is not only statistically unfounded, it's manipulative fear-mongering designed to shame men into settling. Here's the actual reality. If men aren't married by 30, it's often because the standards and expectations have become unreasonably inflated. When the average woman's checklist includes 6-figure income, 6-foot height, perfect emotional availability, mind-reading capabilities, and unwavering patience for her lack of reciprocity, while she brings far less to the table, men are making a rational choice to opt out. This isn't about men being deficient or destined for addiction. It's about men recognizing a bad deal when they see one. The bar has been raised so astronomically high that many men have simply decided the juice isn't worth the squeeze. Instead of blaming unmarried men for supposed moral failures, perhaps the conversation should focus on why modern relationship expectations have become so lopsided that increasing numbers of men are choosing peace and solitude over partnership. Men aren't broken because they're single at 30, they're being strategic.
As a single woman, I'm getting a little worried when I scroll on this app that like all of the good single men, 30-year-olds and up, or near that range, they are, if they're single, they're staying inside and doing exactly what I would want to do, which is like binge a show and like order and take out. Like, why when I'm scrolling, I'm seeing all these like cute men who look like they have their head on their shoulders. They probably don't. Let's just be fucking real. But they're all like staying inside. Like, what I'm trying to do is text a girlfriend and be like, hey, you know what? Instead of me cuddling into bed and binging all of Real Housewives, let's go out. Because I'm just hoping that one day, like, I meet my husband, like, meet cute randomly. Like, I got to go out and do that, right? I have to, like, actually put myself out there. I have to actually do my makeup and, like, put on a cute outfit and do that, you know? Crazy concept. But I have a fear that all of the good single 30-year-old men are doing the opposite. Hey, get out there. Please. Stop ordering takeout by your fucking self and wait for me to be there with you to do it, okay? Fuck, literally, I don't... Probably gonna run into a douchebag. Pray for me.
Don't worry, bros. She didn't mean us. She just forgot to mention what she meant by good single guys means 6 feet 2 inches, 6 packs, and $175K a year. So we safe. Keep ordering takeout. We literally don't want to be bothered. It's that simple. Staying home, gym, work, spend as much time with parents as possible, repeat.
Okay, this is a PSA for single men in 2025 that are interested in dating women. The tactic of being mean to women as a way of flirting is outdated, and if you are over the age of 14, you should not do this. 2 men recently have basically like bullied me to try to flirt with me, and it made me absolutely hate them. So I'm just curious, like, why men still do this. Is it something about the woman's personality that makes you feel like this is how you should talk to them? Because I understand that my personality is like a little bit sassy and blunt sometimes. Is that why? I don't know. Someone help me.
It's because we constantly see women we have feelings for and treat amazing fall off after a bit and go after bad guys who treat them bad. So it's okay for you to be sassy and blunt? A guy being mean is just reciprocation.
Here is why intelligent men stay single. At work, being logical is rewarded, but that doesn't work with dating. Women want to feel emotions. This means flirting, telling stories, and making her laugh. Only when you stir her emotions can her attraction for you grow.
First, women think they want to feel emotions does not mean they do it. Here's the issue in today's world and women being uber sensitive. How to make someone laugh when you have no idea who they are, what they find humorous, and what triggers them. Saying anything offensive is an automatic ghost, but what is offensive to that woman? How about just starting a conversation that evolves into that instead of feeling anything? It ain't rocket science, we just know better. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. Never again. Intelligent men stay single because they are intelligent. Who wants drama?
I'm just going to talk about this comment that was left on one of my videos, and there's quite a few men that leave similar comments to this, and this proclamation that, this is why men are staying single. And this is obviously not all men, but there is a reason why men do this, and the reason that men say I'm staying single, which in other terms basically means I'm also willing to have a string of hookups that mean nothing to get my own needs satisfied, is that the reason that they do this is because they are not willing to face themselves. Any man that says, I'm staying single, is because they do not want to be in a situation that is causing them to face parts of themselves that have been denied, that have been repressed, where they are not taking accountability for the way that they show up in relationships. And obviously, if they're not in relationship or opening themselves up to the right person, they're not going to have this mirroring. And so by isolating and saying, this is why men are staying single, it's just basically another way of saying, I don't want to face myself. Because unfortunately in Western society and sort of in the modern world, men are becoming apathetic, they're becoming more feminized. And when wounded feminine energy shows up in men, it causes them to lack accountability, to not want to take responsibility, to be flighty, to not commit to things, which is automatically a massive turn-off to women that are in a healed feminine energy. And so the sorts of women that they would actually, thrive in relationship with, they're not attracting anyway, because they're not opening themselves up to the possibility that actually they're the ones that are responsible for the type of women that they're actually pulling in the first place. And so it becomes this vicious cycle. But when men say, that they're staying single as an act of, trying to control their circumstances, the reality is underneath that they're feeling very much out of control. And because they don't have a language for communicating, what's going on underneath, because no man that is in a healed masculine energy is going to make this proclamation and decide that he's going to be single for the rest of his life. Because when you look at the way that obviously masculine energy thrives in life, it is to build, it's to continuously have something to move towards, to build some sort of legacy for self, and to feel as if they're creating a foundation, and building something. And so when you're saying, I'm cutting off my own growth, which is obviously what comes from being in a relationship anyway, they're automatically showcasing they're not actually in their masculine. Because to get to the end of your life and basically look back and say, I worked a job that was okay, that paid the bills, sat on my own money so I didn't have to pay anything, for women, and, got to the end of my life with a string of hookups. You look back at that as a legacy for a male, and the level of regret that would come with that is not going to feel good. So if a man makes this proclamation, then this is what he really means. And emotional fulfillment in life comes from the depth of intimacy we have with our partners, with the people that are closest to us. And when we cut ourselves off from that and the possibility of exploring that, we don't live an emotionally fulfilling life. We live a life that's filled with surface level distractions, surface level projections that don't actually lean into anything of depth. And so when a man says this, he's likely very much in his feminine, in an apathetic energy where he doesn't want to commit to things. And so within a relationship, he's not going to take accountability. This is obviously very different for a man that chooses to stay single until the right person comes along and works on himself in the meantime. This is an attribute of a healthy masculine male, and a man that's able to concentrate and focus his energy in such a way that's actually going to be really supportive and conducive once the right partner shows up, or once he's ready to take that step with the right partner. And this is the sort of dynamic and mentality that actually breeds and calls in soul connection as well, because the man is anchored into his masculine energy as opposed
opposed to dismissing the concept of relationship altogether, which is naturally a byproduct of being very wounded. And soul connection in and of itself can only come in when you are truly connected to yourself, whether you're male or female. So if you don't have a deep understanding of, your own psyche, the way that you operate, of your own triggers, where you're not taking accountability and reconciling that internally, you're not actually in a position to attract in what would be like a deep soul connection anyway. So all of these things are interconnected. They all play into one another. But the difference is that when you are connected to self, you see the mirroring and the divinity in others. When you are not connected to yourself, you see through the eyes of separation, of somebody else wanting to take from you, as opposed to being with an open and generous heart that actually allows you to feel the fullness of what a relationship can actually bring for you.
Wow, you are overthinking what a man actually thinks, and most men say what they mean. So lack of accountability is feminine? Well, that certainly explains a lot about this video. It's so refreshing having a woman tell a man how they feel. Note, no man on here saying what women think and need. That is a lot of words to gaslight men who just want some peace. This speech is why most men stay single. Imagine hearing this every day. We stay single because it's not worth it to be told all men are useless. You complain we are not feminine enough? Now we are too feminine. It's a lose-lose reality. Men are tired of being gaslit into thinking that they have to change everything about themselves to be with a woman that thinks she's perfect the way she is.
One of the worst things about being a single person, I think in 2025, is just the constant, unsolicited, yet paradoxical advice that people give you. So for example, if I'm in the middle of a conversation with someone and I tell someone that I'm single, they'll be like, oh, well, are you on the apps? Are you putting yourself out there? Like, you need to put in effort to find a partner. Let's reverse it a little bit and let's pretend that in that same conversation, I'm telling that same person, yeah, I've been on the apps for like X amount of time. It's just not really working out well for me, not going anywhere. That same exact person is going to be like, just get off the apps, take a break. It'll happen when you least expect it. It just genuinely feels at this point like no matter what you're doing, people are always going to have something to say about it. They're always going to have something to say about how you choose to date. The funniest part of all is that this advice always comes from people who have been in back-to-back relationships since like high school. Like people who have never gone more than maybe a couple months of never being in a relationship. So they've never actually had to spend extended periods of time being single. Like, do you really think as a chronically single person that I haven't tried the apps, that I haven't tried just living my life and letting it come to me? Do you really think that? It just seems like no matter what you do, people are always going to tell you to do the opposite of what you're doing. And honestly, at the end of the day, it is nobody's business how you choose to date, how you choose to live your life. But it is just so funny to me how people always seem to have something to say about your singleness and how you should be going about it and telling you to do the exact opposite of the thing that you're doing. And then if you do that thing, they're going to turn around and tell you to do the exact thing you were doing before. I just find it comical at this point. Call me petty, but I sometimes wish that these people in chronic relationships would be able to switch roles with me and actually understand how much more difficult dating is than it seems from the outside. Maybe that would finally get them to shut up.
No, our job isn't to find a partner, it's to be happy and enjoy life so we meet the right person for us. Yes, life is better with the right partner, but single is better than the wrong one. I think a lot of people are just trying to be polite and encourage, but they don't know what you want to hear.
I'm turning 25 next week and I've never had a boyfriend. And I feel like with this British Vogue article coming out, I have a lot to say. So often when I say I've never had a boyfriend, I get the sympathy card. I get the, how could no one ever dated you? Like, oh my God, I'm like, that sucks. When really it's all about autonomy and having a choice. Like I could have a boyfriend if I wanted. And I'm not trying to be cocky, but like I have said no to multiple men in my life. Not to say I don't want one, but on my totem pole of things that are most important to me, having a boyfriend has always come last. And some people may think this is untraditional. Actually, a lot of people in my close life look down upon me for this reason, thinking, when is she gonna find a boyfriend? When is she gonna settle down? For me, it's always been, I have the power to do whatever I want, and letting go of that freedom is scary to me. And if it's the right person in the right relationship, you won't have to let go of that many freedoms, but it's also about compromise. And like, there are things you'd have to give up. I can't just drop everything and leave the country at a drop of a hat if I have someone else to consider. And it might sound selfish, but also I think it's okay to be selfish when you're in your young years, in your 20s. Like, what if I want to be able to do whatever I want to do? Like, God forbid. I don't think it's lame to have never had a boyfriend. I don't think it makes me less of a person. Sometimes I've gotten comments like, what do you know? You've never been in a relationship. Babe, don't look down upon me because I've never been in a relationship. Because you know how many friendships that have lasted since the age of 2 for me? Do you know how many boys that I have tried to date? Do you know how many times I've been burnt? Like, I know a lot. And I think that's the part that annoys me the most, is people looking down upon me for never having experienced a real boyfriend-girlfriend relationship. That doesn't mean that I don't know the green and red flags to look for, that I'm not a mature adult, and that I haven't seen it all. So if you're anything like me and I've never found love, I also, babes, like, I'm a hopeless romantic. Just because I haven't found it doesn't mean I don't want it. I just have to be ready for it. And that's something I'm working towards in therapy. But yeah, I just think there's a really bad stigma around, like, oh my God, you've never had a boyfriend, what's wrong with you? Like, why does something have to be wrong with me? There doesn't have to be anything wrong with me. I don't know.
It's because she's a liberal, and the guy she wants looks like a conservative. Good luck with that. Is she still waiting for that 6 feet 2 inches multimillionaire? Don't you think as you get older, your lack of experience of relationships will be a detriment? A lot of cats in your future?